Hello, everyone. Welcome to this amazing Friday Facebook Live. Thank God it's Friday. Was it TGIF? I'm so glad it's Friday. Looking forward to the weekend, even though we're all quarantined and can't really get out. I am so glad that at least we are surviving, thriving, living the best life now, because I am. I've learned in my life I'm living the best life right now, just like the rest of you should be doing as well. If you get on the newsfeed today, definitely get on board with me. Let me know you're saying hey, and let me know you're with me today. I'm going to talk to you guys about something that's really interesting, about how to earn extra income, and talk to you about the amazing course I'm offering, School of Entrepreneur and Leadership Training, which is really successful in the sense of causing other people to be successful, to really gain a lot of wisdom and insight for their own life. You know, a lot of times people don't realize what MSI means. Hey, good morning, Brittany. What MSI means. MSI actually means multiple streams of income. And a lot of times people like myself actually tap into that power to understand that we are the head and not the tail. We're above and not beneath. And we can begin to actually be the owners of certain things in our lives and realizing that potential that we have been given by God. And so one thing I teach on within my School of Entrepreneur and Leadership Training is those concepts of what MSI means and how you begin to get extra income. A lot of times people don't realize not only do we have the greatest access in the world, which is internet today, because we reach an entire audience of the entire world within seconds. And so I actually went in with a friend of mine, Wayne Sutton, and we actually did a course together a while back. And I asked him, I said, hey, Wayne, why don't you join with me? Let's teach the knowledge we have as far as businesses that we have and help other people to become successful. You know, as opposed to just sort of sharing them about salvation and healing and energy and all the other great things we talk about, but also realize scripturally from a point of view, how exactly does God want you to prosper? And that's one thing I teach within my course of School of Entrepreneur and Leadership Training is the concept that that is biblical, that you can begin to gain extra finances, you can begin to gain extra income for you, your family, your spouse, your kids, whatever, and understand that everything is dealt with a mindset. And through the mindset, you have to begin to understand to have the correct, proper, aligned mindset in the mind of Christ. Because a lot of times people do this, and this is what I explained in the course, with Wayne and I both explained in the course, is a lot of times people have the mindset that they will always be employed by someone. They'll always be trying to find the job, in other words, getting into a survival mode where, oh man, I dread it. The whole world has to go to work, 9 to 5. Bummer. This is what we have to do. Let me find a good job maybe that I can tolerate. That's the idea most people have on planet Earth. The majority of people have the idea of that. And they don't understand the power to actually, to be ownership of things, to actually be the head and not the tail, to be above and not beneath. And it doesn't mean that as an entrepreneur owning your own business means that you're better than anyone else. Not at all. But I teach within the course how to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur actually is someone who is an entrepreneur that is under the canopy or the umbrella of someone else's company. Because what we try to teach is if you feel like you're not really called to maybe be ownership of a CEO of your own company, then we also teach the idea and the aspect of realizing you can be an entrepreneur within, in other words, be an entrepreneur, which is called an entrepreneur with under the canopy of someone else's company. That way you have the flexibility, the creativeness, and the know-how how to be able to have extra space you can step into and create your own environment under the canopy or the umbrella of maybe another company that you're working for. And so that's possible. A lot of people, thousands of people are doing that. And most people I deal with in life coaching sessions, the majority of them tell me one thing, and that is, I want to find a new job. And I'll pretty much say, let me guess, you're pretty much in this mundane situation of work where you're actually just seeing the same thing, getting the same results every day, where you're basically in the daily grind, you're in this place of just sort of, in a rut. And the majority of people say, absolutely, I do the same thing. I'm not creative in my job. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing what I'm told to do. And when you feel like you're just being told what to do, a part of you dies. And I want you to hear me out good, for example, folks, because a part of you dies. And what that means for you is I'm going to put the link on there in a minute at the very end of the School of Entrepreneur course, because I got a killer deal for you guys today, like I did last week. But a lot of times people don't realize that there's a death that takes place in you. It's sort of like when people say, for example, when you get drunk all the time, or you get drugs, you get high, whatever, it kills brain cells, correct? We all know that. Well, it's the same thing. You don't realize you're doing the same thing. There are brain cells that die within inside of you when you're in a place of just a rut. When the daily grind is nothing more than doing what you're told to do. You're not thinking outside the box. You're not able to you haven't been graced by a boss or CEO of a company who actually gives you the space to create and to think. If you're just the same person over and over again every day doing the same thing over and over again, then you can have brain cells that are dying and you're not fulfilling the full potential and purpose God has originated for you to be on planet Earth because of the fact you've lost your authenticity. You have lost the power to create under the canopy of some other company, unless you want to become a CEO of your own company to be creative as well. So anytime that you are sort of just doing what you're told to do as a robot, you have brain cells that die. You might as well, don't get me wrong, but you might as well drink and do drugs in the sense of understanding that brain cells still die because you were created to be powerful. You were created to create. You were created to create. You have to think about that. And so one thing I teach within the course of School of Entrepreneur Leadership Training is when I asked my friend Wayne Sutton to get involved with me, there's our pictures, then we begin to actually break down a lot of things that people, to break the mindsets and the habits people are in. There's a lot of habitual habits people are getting involved in, and break that to understand that you can get into MSI, multiple streams of income. You can begin to understand that you can prosper outside of your 9-to-5 job every day, just making 10, 12, 11, 13, $14 an hour. Because a lot of times people think, well, hey, I've got a raise. I'm making 15 as opposed to 14, and I was about to say, that's still horrible. I don't mean to discredit anyone, but that's horrible. You were made for more than that. I mean, to be honest with you, you should be making $20 to $30 an hour at the very bare minimum. The bare minimum you should. Because you were born out of the creativeness mind of God, which lets you know automatically that we are 10 times wiser than the children of this world. When people start asking me things such as, like the coronavirus, what's going on, our government, our president, all this stuff, I want to say it's almost at a place where, to be very, very transparent with you guys, it's almost a place to be embarrassed that we are Christians today, to be honest with you, because it's embarrassing when I hear Christians say, I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. I'm barely getting by. I'm barely paying my bills. Well, how is your prayer life? Well, my prayer life is always, God, let me have enough money to pay my electric bill. That's not overcoming. There's nothing please don't take this the wrong way, folks, please. But there's nothing there that's exciting to want to praise God about. Because you're actually on the lowest of the lowest totem pole trying to barely survive when God is saying, no, you're the head and not the tail. I have given you all things that pertain to this life and godliness. There's a place in us, and this goes beyond money. Who cares about money? I mean, I do care, but who cares about it when it deals with money's it's not the subject today. It's the subject today is understanding the power of you being the head of something, being in charge of your company, being the manager, having flexibility in your creativeness under the CEO of your company to be creative under the creative blanket of him or her. And so here's where we begin to realize that, you were made for much more, but first you have to break down the paradigms that you were taught. And that's why we grow up, we hear people say money's not, it doesn't grow on trees. We hear that from our parents. Or, hey, don't throw away, that last potato chip. People, starving children in Africa, why can't it be China anywhere else, or America, for goodness sake. But the key thing is we hear these phrases. We teach our children these, pardon my language, but idiotic phrases, because we teach them how to be poor. We teach them to hoard, not to save. There's a difference between hoarding and saving. And we teach our children to survive. You got to survive in this world. We're teaching our children the wrong ethics, the wrong morals. We're teaching them the wrong wrong ideology when it deals with survival. As Christians, if you're surviving, you're the lowest on the totem pole. It doesn't mean you have to be a millionaire, not at all. It means you don't have a mindset of success. Whether money follows success, which money will follow success, but it doesn't matter if you're making, a billionaire status. Still doesn't make you successful. Are you with me? Success doesn't come by money. Money follows success, but success means you have a powerful, successful mindset that trains yourself to move into the renewed mind of Christ, to say, I am better than this. I deserve more. I can make more. I can do this. I want to be able to understand my own flexibility and creativeness to where when I'm working for a company or my own company, that I can have that flexibility to do that and move in the nature, because that's what I'm created to do. You were created to lead and you were created to serve. Great leaders are made from great servants. And all leaders need to know how to serve, because servanthood will jettison you into the place of leadership. If you don't understand the power of and the ethics of that reality, then you'll never have the money that's supposed to follow with your success and servanthood and leadership. So I go into a lot more in-depth detail. And we don't speak success to them. Our words have incredible power. Yes. Hallelujah. Thank you. It's so true. And that's why we teach our children. We should teach our children where they're young how to say, hey, you want to have a lemonade stand? Let me teach you about the power of investment. Let me tell you something, adults, and I'm going to talk about this in a second and give you the special. This is going to be the lowest I've ever gone on the School of Entrepreneur and Leadership Training, where I got my friend Wayne Sutton and I to teach on these subjects, which includes ebooks and tons of audios of hours of training. And one thing, let me explain this to you guys. Teach your children to have lemonade stands at a young age. And here's what you do. You don't wait for them. When they come to you and say, hey, I saw Charlie Brown where, Lucy has a little lemonade stand. I want that, Mom. Don't wait to be embarrassed by your child coming to you to say, hey, can I do that? You should be able to know in advance with a renewed mind of strategic thinking to say, let me teach my children the power of marbles, the power of lemonade, the power of books, the power of Legos. And how I teach them is the power of investment. I teach them in the lemonade stand that here's your business, in a lemonade stand, and what are you going to do with the money you're going to make? Let me tell you how powerful money is. Let me tell you how powerful you are. Let me tell you what you're doing in the ministry of exchange by selling lemonade. Give them the best quality of lemonade. How many pieces of ice do you put in it? Because it's your business. How much of a quality do you want, and how much quantity do you want to give someone? You teach them at a young age because you teach them how to be faithful to small things before they're able to be ruler and thankful over many things. Here's where we miss it. We wait into our adulthood before we end up saying to ourselves, hey, by the way, you know what? I just learned this epiphany from God, and that is I got to be faithful with the small things I have. Don't teach your children when they're older to be faithful in the small things. You've causing them to lose 20 or 30 years of their life when you should have taught them how to be faithful in the small things when they were small. Are you with me? When you're grown and you're big and you're trying to learn how to achieve in the small things, then what you're doing is you're saying a big person is trying to learn the small things. No, small people learn the small things. That way, when you're evolving into growing up and put away childish things, you grow up into maturity. Then the big person that you become knows how to take on the big things that God's going to bring to you because you've learned how to be the ruler of the big things. Are you with me? It's an embarrassment when we get older as adults and we say, I got to learn how to be faithful in the small things. You should have been taught that by educated, smart parents when they were younger. And we have the opportunity to do that today. We can teach and train our children when they're small to be faithful in the small things, to where we can advance them into bigger things. A person who doesn't understand the ethics and the content of success as a child and teaches them money doesn't grow on trees, save every penny. Why, Mom? Because you're not going to teach me what to do with the pennies. Because you don't know. Are you with me? So you have to teach and train your children how powerful pennies, nickels, and dimes are. I think it was Abraham Lincoln that talked about a penny saved is a penny earned. I learned at a young age. Most people don't know this. Most of you on here that actually, my friend on here, I won't tell you her name, but went to church with me. She actually took me to get my license when I was 16 and love her dearly. But when I was younger, most people don't realize that my parents actually went through a hard time of poverty because my father owned his business. I think he had 12 employees. 20s, very successful, a great company going on. We had a beautiful home. We made beautiful amount of money. And then bam, something happened. Insurance shifted, where my mom got breast cancer at the time. My father lost his business, had to fire everybody, which some of them became his good friends, and we hit rock bottom. But we began throughout the years to understand the power of what it means to get back up. And one thing that I learned was I learned through the method of the success I saw my parents go through, but also learned the success of their failures and the things they didn't know how to do. And they learned throughout the years through the School of Hard Knocks by the Holy Spirit training them. I began to come on board. I began to learn through school, through college. I began to learn these ideas, and I began at a young age, in my early 20s. I actually owned our Christian bookstore. Me and my best friend, who to this very day is Birmingham's county's tax collector. We've been best friends since I was 16 years old, and we're still best friends. And here I am at 50 years old. Don't tell anybody, because I'll come after you. You better say, oh, Jeremy, you don't look 50. You look 35 or 40. Thank you. It's called a lot of facial cream, all right? But anyway, taking care of yourself. But anyway, so it's the idea of I trained myself in my early 20s, and so I actually became very successful. I had a Christian bookstore, had it for a number of years, made actually really good money, more money than I should at my young age. Even though I started blowing a little bit of it, I was successful. We did our own commercials on this real famous Christian station down here in Alabama, and I understood that power. And then when I lost my power, because when we began to close our bookstore years later, I began to lose that power because I began to lose the consciousness of what I was taught, because I lost myself. I lost my identity, and I began to sell my identity to the highest bidder. And what that means is many of us do that by we begin to be employed by employers that we forgot that we have the mind of Christ to be the employer. We became the employee. Nothing wrong with working in a company, not at all. There's been powerful people throughout history. And if you're called to work for a company, that's what you're called to do. That's powerful. You're still successful. You're still a powerful leader, but you're forgetting one thing. Like Peter Pan, and I reference this a lot. Back in the 80s, when Peter Pan, the movie, became more popular, and then Hook, which is, I think, what the sequel to Peter Pan came out, Robin Williams, God rest his soul, played. And the idea for Hook was this, is that Peter Pan, as he got older, he lost his potential. He forgot who he was, and he had to go back to Neverland. And when he did, he began to understand the concept. Wait a minute. All the little kids began to teach him, you've lost your childlike faith. You forgot how to fly, Peter Pan. You forgot how to fly. And all of a sudden, guess what happens? Robin Williams, a.k.a. Peter Pan, had to reteach himself how to fly again. He forgot the power he had. And that's where many of us do. We begin to get older. We forget the power because we don't stay in an educational format and structure ourselves to listen to motivational speakers. And here's one thing I tell people. I'm very weird about listening to pastors. Don't get me wrong. I'm very weird about Christians, period. Don't get me wrong when I say this. But what I mean by that is a lot of pastors do great jobs. And some pastors don't need to teach on success and finances or investments because they don't know about it, but they should learn about it. Because to be a wise person in the counsel of many, you find wisdom, you've got to have to realize you're going to be the counsel of many people one day, and they need to pull from your wisdom. Like Paul said, to be all things to all men, you might win some. You should learn to be all things to all people. So there is a credibility you need to gain when it deals with being successful. I am not for pastors who gets in the pulpit and prays, today, Father, we're all going to pay our power bill, yay, and he's struggling. I'm not for that kind of thinking because we're 10 times wiser than children of this world, or we should be. But the truth is, it's an embarrassment because many Christians don't even gain the momentum of making $12 or $13 an hour. I'm not going to begin to tell you how much I make a year because it's no one's business, but through my companies, I do very, very, very well. I have a house paid off. I don't owe a penny. I haven't even paid a penny on my credit card as far as interest in over 20 years, not even a penny of interest. Not even a penny, because I turn around and pay my bills off because I understand the power to rotating credit. I've studied this for years. I understand the power of credit scores. I have a perfect credit score. My saying for this, the reason why I'm telling you all this stuff is because I can help each one of you. I can train you to live the life to say, no worries, thank God. And so during the coronavirus, I don't have to worry about anything. Because of the fact I've learned how to store up my treasure, not just in heaven, but understood the power of investments through stock markets and money markets, and understood the power of gaining more money. To be able to know MSI means I don't just rely on you guys to take care of me. I rely on the power of God working in me, and I have multiple streams of income. For example, I can teach you and train you how I've got 48 books out, and I've got 57 ebooks out, and they're on 40 different websites: Barnes & Noble, Books of Me, and Amazon, CD Baby. The list goes on and on. You can find my teachings on Spotify. You can find my teachings on iTunes, iBooks. 40 websites I've been able to put all my stuff on, to audio teachings, ebooks, books, everything. So I get paychecks from 40 different areas, much less the other business I own, much less Identity Network, and Now Is Your Moment, because I've learned how to be able to have multiple streams of income coming in from all different avenues. It makes me who I am today. I can teach and train each one of you how to begin to do that, because I love every one of you. You all deserve. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and we're prophetic. Teach your children well. Amen, Brother Ben. Thank you, Terry. I'm so with you. And here's Terry referencing a secular artist. Ooh, Terry, you're so unrenewed mind, woman. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I love me some music. I'm so with you, my friend. I love you. So that's a key thing I want to teach and train you guys. And so here's what I did today. Here's what I did. I'm going to put the link on there in a second for you guys, okay, to be able to go to this. But what I'm going to offer you guys, because this is the best opportunity, because I put on Facebook the other day, you're not stuck at home. This is your opportunity. This is your blessing to rest at home and to learn and to be trained to where when this coronavirus junk is gone, you are empowered. You don't start off where you start off where you left off. No, you're able to say, I'm going now with more education when the virus is over. This is a grace allotted time for us, folks, to educate ourselves to know what to do in life. So here's what I did. As you guys know, I have 14 courses out that are actually accredited by universities and colleges all across the country. So you can take some of my courses, and we can if you go to a different Christian university, you can use this credit for that. We can teach you how. So there you go. Most people don't know exactly what all I do. I am an investor. I have money invested. I do a lot of different stuff because I believe in these things. We flip homes. I mean, I just have so many things going on. So when I say, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, I don't want for anything for many years to come, because I understand the universal principles of this universe that God has set into motion in His Word to know how to do these things. There's a difference in just claiming prosperity scriptures as opposed to someone who can teach you how to live it out. When I hear a preacher just quote out, name and claim it prosperity scriptures, I'm like, no way. You can't name it and claim it. You have to begin to educate the people to know how to empower them by giving them a hands-on of how to do these things. So that's what I love to do. So I want to be able to help you guys. So here's what I did is for all of our people quarantined at home. If you go to the website, which I'll have the link on here in a minute, because I only got two hands, babe. So what I did was I actually put this on sale. This is a digital download, school only. So this is just the hard copy for you guys to see. But you can go to the website and download School of Entrepreneur and Leadership Training. Okay, it's actually a 6-week course. You can take it at your own pace, and you're going to get, let's see here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to get 10 hours of my audios with myself and my friend Wayne Sutton, who's going to teach you on business strategies, entrepreneur. Plus, you're going to get 2 ebooks. Now, I have one of the books with me. It's an ebook in this called You Were Born to Be an Entrepreneur. And you're going to get, when you download everything, your ebooks of this and the other one, plus all the audios will be included. So you can download the whole thing to your computer. What I did is this whole entire course, these have multiple CDs in them, by the way. Multiple CDs, okay? So just let you know that. So what I'm doing for you guys during this coronavirus is this retails for $230. We had it on sale for $99, but as you know, most of my courses are on sale because I want to make it easier for you guys. But good, Diane. I'm so glad those words ministered to you. I love prophesying to you. I've been prophesying all morning long to people. But what I'm going to do is on this $99 course, which is $230 already, I'm going to give you this course for $69. $69. You're going to get 10 full audios by me and Wayne Sutton. You're going to get 2 ebooks. You're going to get 2 books, which are ebooks, 10 hours of audios. Let me tell you guys what the audios include in the $69. And I'm telling you, this is only like now. So this course is going to go back up. I'm putting it on sale right now. It's on sale right now on the website. You can click on the link I'll bring to you in a minute to purchase them. And it goes off tonight. Probably 5 o'clock. So it goes off at 5 o'clock. So I need you to order these things today, all right? If you want the entire course for $69, order it today before 5 o'clock. Some of the teachings on here you're going to get in your downloads of this entire school is paying attention. Focus on your call. Another one will be, are you committed or just involved? I love that one. You're going to get the ebook, You Were Born to be an Entrepreneur, which I give you detail after detail of how to do this stuff. You also get teachings such as devising a business plan for your life. This is where many of you fall. You don't know how to devise a business plan, a strategy for your life. Another teaching in here is value on building a business. Another one is characteristics of the leader. More teachings you're going to get in this course is feedback of your own life. So dynamic. You're going to get the leader structure. You're going to get incorporating family into your business endeavors. I love that. You're going to get the ebook, very powerful ebook, Time for You, Effective Time Management. You're also going to get the Now Biblical Leader. You're going to get the audios also of the ABCs of wealth accumulation, on and on and on. So you're going to get every bit of these plus more and the 2 ebooks. All this entire course is going to run you, it's a digital download only, ONLY, for just $69. So I'm going to give you the link here below. My staff is going to put it on here for me. And when they do, I want you to click on it because it's going to be $69 for the entire course, which is a digital download only, until 5 p.m. Then it's going to go back up. We will not offer it again after 5 p.m., all right? So, Diane, I'm so glad you like the words, my friend. You guys are so amazing. Terry, Fountain of Youth, my friend. You look beautiful, Terry. You must have been drinking from that fountain. You must have been drinking a lot from it. You look good. So I want to encourage you guys, because right now during this virus, you have the opportunity from God to learn. Take advantage of it. I've always said that successful people read. And they read the right product. They read the right books. They don't read on stuff that's not going to help them out. They don't read romance novels and some Harlequin romance. Harlequin romance. Harlequin, that's a movie. I love me some sci-fi movies, man. I love it. Anyway, so they don't read Harlequin romance books. They read things that empower them. I am a huge reader of people such as Bob Proctor, huge, great guy. Joe Vitale, great guy on Law of Attraction. I read things such as Jack Canfield, which is a good friend of mine, actually. Read a lot of his stuff. I read things from, oh my gosh, I won't know where to begin. A lot of great Christian, successful entrepreneurs as well. I'm always reading. That's why I encourage you guys to read my books, because I incorporate things of how to, not just, hey, speak it and it becomes yours. No, it's living out the action behind the energy of your thought. So go right now to the website, identitynetwork.net, and just put in school. Hold on a minute. There you go. Backwards. School of, and you can just put the letter E. Just put School of E. Okay, School of E. It'll pull up automatically, $69, on sale already on the website. Order right now. I'll give you the link here in a second. I love you guys. I want you guys to be successful, to have abundance, know about multiple streams of income. You deserve it. Honor yourself and invest in yourself today, because you deserve it. Order right now, all right? Because it goes off at 5 p.m., $69. Love you guys. Oh, hold on. Don't leave me. New book for the month. This is my sample. The new book for the month of April. This is my sample. You ready? Ready? Here it comes. Ta-da! Supernatural Traction and Co-Creation. Thick book. Supernatural Traction and Co-Creation. This will be released to our book club members first. This is a sample of it. It'll go out here in about a week, and all of you guys can order it after that. But so I'm telling you, if you're not on my book club every month, you're missing out. You get killer deals on it. So sign up for the book club today. Order School of Entrepreneur right now. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.